Nikon D3500. This is probably the cheapest DSLR camera Nikon has to offer, and this is also one of the most bought camera out there because of course it's the cheapest. I've had this camera for more than a year now and my experiences have been balanced, a few good ones and a few bad ones. So is this camera really worth it, or is it going to be a waste of money to buy a cheap one? If you're a YouTuber and you're thinking of buying this camera to do YouTube, you can directly skip to this timestamp to know whether to buy or not directly. You don't have to waste your time across the video. This camera was launched at least 3+ years ago, but still this is one of the best out there because even when it was launched 3+ years ago, it was launched with a 24 megapixel CMOS sensor with a 12-bit RAW format and 5 frames per second. This makes the resolution pretty high even in the year 2022. Let's first talk about the camera itself. This camera is really well built. It looks like a professional DSLR, which it is by the way, but also it's heavy, it's bulky, and it gives you a good feeling when you use the camera by yourself. The kit lens that it comes with, the 18-55mm, is the best beginner friendly lens in the market, no doubt. The quality is top notch, the focal length is perfect, and I'm pretty sure this is the best lens any beginner can have when he's just getting into photography. So what you get in the pack with this camera is definitely top notch. The learning curve is very small. There is no much learning in this camera. It's just straightforward and anybody can learn this easily. It's not tricky and you don't have to have years of experience to use this camera. You can just pick it up and start learning, and within a few weeks you will be a good photographer with this camera. So the friction is really low. The photo quality or photography experience, the auto on this camera is next level. I have never seen a camera whose auto mode does as good job as this one. Even the more expensive Nikon cameras do not do justice when it comes to auto mode, but this camera particularly is focused towards the beginners, so it does a really good job when you use it in the auto mode. But come on, if you are buying a camera, you are trying to learn something, so you are definitely not going to shoot much in auto. But if you need it, or if you are in a situation where you cannot afford making a mistake, then the auto mode will definitely save you. Now let's talk about video. The camera, as I already told you, lets you shoot 1080p full HD at 60 frames per second if you want to, and the video quality is really good. Even though it's not top notch, there are other cameras like the Sony ZV-E10 which will shoot at 14 bits, which is a lot more raw data. But if you're not working professionally, or if you're not very precise, you will not see the difference. For a normal user, the difference is negligible. You will not even see what's wrong in the video. So it has really good video capabilities as well. Autofocus in indoor environments, I have seen that it does not do a good job, and in video, especially if you are talking, it usually loses focus and tries to focus again. So that's an issue. That's why I always shoot with the manual focus mode on. That's something to keep in mind if you are buying this for video. But other than that, the camera is really good in outdoor experiences, or when there is enough light, you'll not see any issues like this. So does that mean that this is the best camera or the best budget camera out there that you can buy for anything? Well, this is where it gets a little tricky. The camera has really good video capabilities. The camera has really good photo capabilities. But if you are a YouTuber like me, or if you want to buy a camera to do videography or start a YouTube channel or something in that line, then I don't think this camera is for you. If you're someone who wants to get into photography, if you want to casually click pictures, or if you want to learn photography before you go and buy a more expensive camera, this is definitely the best camera you can buy. It has amazing capabilities, so I would definitely recommend you this camera. But if you're someone who is focused on videography, this camera might not be for you. No, the reason is not because the quality is not good. The quality definitely is really good and you will never complain about the quality. But there are simple things that make using this camera really annoying. The first thing is that you cannot attach an external microphone to this camera, which makes it really difficult to shoot with it, and there is a lot of friction whenever you want to try to shoot something, because you have to record your voice in your mobile and then record this the video in the camera and then merge them all together. So there is a lot of friction that gets added. So if you are a YouTuber, you will end up procrastinating a lot because friction always makes you do that. Other things like autofocus, when it does not work, this camera does not have a flip screen, so you can't see yourself when you are recording and you don't know whether the focus is working or not. Most of the time I have ended up with blurred images or blurred videos, and it's frustrating after hours and hours of recording. If you go back and see and the whole video is blurred, you can't use that video, and it just becomes annoying after a point, and you won't shoot with this as much as you wanted to when you bought the camera. So if you are someone who is looking forward to making videos on YouTube, then I would suggest you get a mirrorless camera or the Sony ZV-E10. I've heard that it is a really good camera and it is focused towards video creators or YouTubers. So those are better options. But if you want a camera to click pictures, this you can definitely buy without doubt. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope it answered all your questions. If you did end up liking anything in the video, make sure you hit that like button and let me know. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.